Hey guys, Cole here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this one will be all about my free-to-play account, Gamechangers. These are the top 10 champions, which definitely changed the way that my account moved forward in this more than 300 days of playing the game. This account has over 30 legendary champions, almost all of the epic champions available through the game, and many more rare champion. Before we get into my top 10 list of game changer champions for this free-to-play account, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video. Today's sponsor is Opera GX, with the GX corner built in, showing you the free games, all other games available, plus many more gaming news. Opera GX also features the GX control, showing the RAM limiter here. I have 5 tabs open, all playing videos at the same time. With GX control, you can actually limit the RAM usage of your browser while you're also playing games. You can also close off any of those tabs and then limit the RAM usage of your own browser to your PC's requirements for the game that you're playing. There's also the network limiter, which actually limits the downloads or uploads that your tabs are doing in the background while you're playing your games. Here, I'm limiting the downloads to 1 megabytes per second so I can play my games with ease of mind. And I can actually even enable the RAM limiter to specifically limit the RAM usage. A great feature is also the Twitch integration within the browser, where you can see your favorite streamers being online. All social media are also available here, where you can chat and also browse seamlessly through the GX browser. I have my Twitter connected here and also my Discord, where I can actually chat in there while I'm also browsing at the same time. GX Player also allows you to connect to your favorite music streaming application. Here I've connected my own Spotify account, where I can actually listen to anything that I like through Spotify. GX Browser also automatically pauses when your tab is playing, and then it automatically resumes when your tab is finished. Opera GX is also available on all mobile devices. There is going to be a link down below in the description and comments of this video. Check it out now. Thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Okay. This is my free-to-play account, guys. So many legendary champions, so many epic champions. Many of them level to 60. Many of them have masteries. Others have no masteries. But out of all these champions, which do you think were my game changers? I'm going to start with an uncommon champion, of course. First, you guys know who it's going to be. It's going to be, of course, Armature right here. One of the very few champions that I got to 60 in my... I think in my first 2 months of playing, I got my Armature to 60. It was such a big step into using this champion for progression. His combination of skills with the terminator reduction on the A1 and the max HP damage on the A2 made me think, okay, this will be a big force into the account without the need of me being lucky in terms of opening shards and just finding a good champion. So this Armature at level 60 has been there since forever. Since the very start of my account, I gave him masteries. Not all the masteries, just needed to get War Master there. He didn't go all the way in terms of building him. I gave him some accuracy, 100% crit chance, and a lot of speed. And that definitely changed the way that I used my teams and how I pushed through all of the dungeons. Number 2 in this list is, of course, going to be Paragon, a void rare champion obtainable only through void shards, unfortunately. There's no other way to obtain Paragon. Such a game changer in the sense that you can cheese so many areas of the game with this. I've made so many videos in the past in the channel showcasing Paragon and how you can use him at level 30, level 40, level 50, even level 60. He's a great champion to have. Definitely worth putting some effort into watching videos, at least for Paragon, and where you can use him, choosing the Nightmare campaign, choosing the Spider, choosing the Nether Spider, choosing so many areas of the game just because of how unique his A2 is, with a 2-turn cooldown on an unkillable that he puts on a single target, either himself or someone else. I barely have any masteries on this guy, but he has definitely been used many times over on this account. Next up, guys, we're gonna go over to another rare champion obtainable through mystery shards if you get lucky, but of course more easily obtainable through ancient shards. It's gonna be Frozen Banshee. It made it so much easier for me to get big damage numbers in the clan boss, and of course get that dragon down way easier. A great poisoner is what you need for beating the dragon, and of course for doing great amount of damage on the clan boss. I still use my Frozen Banshee today. 320 days in, I have champions such as Badal Khazar, but I still use my Frozen Banshee over him, especially for the clan boss. Such a great damage dealer, and just give her some accuracy, give her a lifesteal set, and you'll see on how much damage she can be putting out with that specific A1. When the poison sensitivity is on the enemy, she keeps on applying poisons, the strong version of the poison, so 5%. And of course I gave her Masteries, War Master, and then of course Master Hexter for extension of the duration of those debuffs. Fantastic rare. Definitely an MVP when you manage to get her. Next up, guys, of course, another rare champion. Mystery shards, rare shards, ancient shards. If you manage to get Apothecary, there's no doubt that you need to give him a ton of speed. Book him out. If you have the rare books, book him out. You're not going to regret it. Not for his A1, but his A2 and A3. A2 is a big heal, which can actually crit, and his A3 is a constant boost of both the speed and also increased speed buff to your allies. Fantastic champion. Even has a dungeon aura. I gave him Giant Slayer because I did use him at the early stages for the clan boss. I used him for the clan boss, guys, because of the amount of speed boost, the healing that he gave, and also the damage potential coming out of his triple hitting A1 with Giant Slayer. Fantastic champion. Even used him for faction wars with Arbiter, of course, to beat down that faction war stage. Going into the epics, of course, I have so many epics, but the one epic that I got relatively early and I got lucky in getting that epic was Godseeker and Neary. Okay, this champion, although she doesn't look like much, she is a void epic champion. Hard to get, I know, from void shards. You have to get lucky. I know guys, but for this specific account, it made so much sense to actually max out her skills. A1 that heals the ally with the lowest HP, A2 that heals everybody by 15% of their max HP, and also decrease the duration of all buffs on enemies, and increase the duration of all buffs in my team in combination with other champions such as Apothecary. She is fantastic in keeping that speed buff going over and over all the time. She also has a revive on her A3, which resets the cooldowns of that specific target on a relatively low cooldown for what this skill does. It's an amazing skill, and she also has a passive which revives an ally immediately when they get hit. It actually puts a revive on death on them, so that's the way it revives them. So definitely fantastic champion, plus the boost in healing that your allies get from their lifesteal sets, from any kind of healing, just as a passive effect. Fantastic champion, game changer, and I used her for my Sacred Order team to beat down faction wars. Next up, guys, this is not one champion. The combination of these two champions was game changing, no doubt. You cannot say, if I had the choice of having these two champions on every single account I would make, I would definitely do that choice, just because it's basically like a cheat code within the game. It's a cheat code to have a man-eater and a painkeeper. Two champions can totally change the outcome of an account, or how the account grows, in the sense that you build them for that Ultra Nightmare clan boss. You build the budget unkillable with man-eater and painkeeper, and that's it. No longer you're gonna worry about the gearing or if your team is gonna last to 50 turns. This combo of these two champions took my teams from beating Nightmare in 4 keys to beating Ultra Nightmare in 3 keys. Okay, with just the poisoners that I had a frozen Banshee, I had an Althar, and then just a slow boy, a random target for the stun to go on. And if you've seen videos before on this setup, man-eater, painkeeper, amazing. I still use them to this day and will be using them until the day I give away this account. Such an amazing combo. No doubt, if you have these two, find the build them now. You're not gonna regret it. Your Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team will thank you, and the results, all that loot that you will be getting, you'll be thanking me as well for saying, okay, I need to focus on that Clan Boss team, and now that I have man-eater and painkeeper, thank you coldbrew for suggesting that. I mean, yeah, why would you not do this if you do have these two champions? Next up, another champion that was easily obtainable through the 40 Ancient Shard guaranteed summon event that we had, okay? This champion can be obtained through Ancient Shards, which is, I mean, random, but we did have a summoning event throughout me playing this account, okay? Geomancer was part of this journey, and I got him. Look at the gear that he has. Barely any gear, but he is the MVP of my clan boss team. Not only used for the clan boss, but I also used him for the Dwarves Faction Wars. Not with this gear specifically for the clan boss that I'm doing right now, but when building him for Dwarves, he can actually use this skill, which is insane. Other than the damage that it does for the clan boss, it's a 3-turn cooldown, fully depletion of the turn meter, and it also steals the turn meter that it depletes. So this actually can become a 2-turn cooldown. Imagine this champion with over 200 speed. He just keeps on stealing that turn meter from the enemy boss over and over and over again. This happened in the Dwarves Faction Wars, and that's why I've managed to beat it as the first faction ever on this account. I mean, no way that you can say anything other than this champion is amazing and is still used by many players in Doom Tower as well, just because of the damage potential that he can give with his HP burn. And finally, guys, we'll go over the legendary champions, 3 champions which definitely were game changers for this account. As I said in the beginning of this video, I have over 30 legendary champions, actually 31 when I did count them. Many of them still at level 50. Even my Torment is still at level 50, which I do plan on getting to 60. But with all of these legendary champions, who do you think were the ones that really made a difference? I'm going to start with the first one. The first legendary champion that this account had definitely made a difference, because this champion was through a fusion, one of the first fragment fusions that I had going for this account. I went for it, went hard trying to get this, and of course it's Irondrago. Gave him a lifesteal set and of course some accuracy. He was landing those stuns on the A2, increased defense to all my allies for 3 turns. Even when I didn't have him booked, this was a 4-turn cooldown only. And the stun was insane in terms of control. He had an A1 which decreased the duration of buffs. So if the enemy had a buff with a 1-turn cooldown, it actually removed the buffs from the enemy clan boss. And then his A3 also applies a provoke and also a decreased attack when there's an increased defense going on. Amazing kid. If that wasn't enough, this champion also has a passive which boosts the defense of all my allies. So it was a big boost in terms of the defensive potential for my champions before I got into that man-eater setup and became unkillable basically. Irondrago was the king of my clan boss teams because of how much he would provide, just because of this passive, increased defense, decreased attack, decreased the duration of all buffs, and also he has an aura for Doom Tower, so I used him as a leader slot for the Doom Tower for that boost and defense for all my champions. Just an amazing guy throughout, and he also hits amazingly hard. Used him in my Faction Wars team as well. I built him with War Master and the defense right here, and never looked back after that. Next up, guys, of course, it's gonna be Sal of the Drakes. Sal of the Drakes, an amazing champion. No way that you're gonna be at 180 days and you won't be using Sal of the Drakes. He is definitely worth the books and effort into gearing here. If you have a relentless set, she even becomes even better with that. Such an amazing champion, over 200 speed. Get that rotation going. She revives, she heals, she stuns, she debuffs, she buffs, she has everything going for her, and it's free for everyone. So no way that this champion was not a game changer, considering all the champions that I have. I mean, they're great and all, but that's more of a late game kind of stuff. This champion actually made a difference to all my dungeons, and it's an amazing thing to see when you get a champion and it totally changes the way that you look into each and every one of the areas of the game. And finally, guys, at around, I don't remember the exact day, 100 days or so within the free-to-play journey, I got Arbiter. Arbiter is one of the champions that you get when you finish those missions. Once you get Arbiter, Arena becomes easier in the sense that now you have a turn meter booster, a reviver, buff remover, weaken application to her A1. She also boosts the attack of all your champions with her A3. Fantastic champion for Faction Wars as well. She has an aura for Arena. Definitely a game changer in the sense that I now had a great leader slot for my Arena teams. I can now push and get those gold medals even faster and then boost my great whole stats in there as well. Fantastic champion, and this one is the final one in my top 10 list for champions that were game changers for this account. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did think that any of the champions that I did get, if you were watching this kind of series that I have, the free-to-play series, which I have a playlist with over 200 videos of this account, progressing through this account during this year, then definitely check it out. Tell me which one you think maybe have been maybe not used by me and would have been a great game changer. I would say Brockney was an amazing champion, but did not make the list because I never really used Brockney in the sense for clan boss and pretty much all of the dungeons. He's a great champion, but honestly did not find a slot where I should be able to use him. I could have used him more in the Doom Tower, but it was never really focusing on actually using Brockney or pushing in there. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!